All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm Beth White. I'm the founder and CEO of MeBeBot, and we are very excited to be here today to present three different winners the Humanity in AI Awards. So this is the first of its kind that we launched a few months ago, and we've had a number of different respondents submitting nominations, lots of people getting visibility to this topic. And so today is our day to celebrate those amazing folks that are that have submitted, and our judges who have spent some time looking through the nominations and selecting the winners. And so I hope everyone can hear us in the chat and that everything is moving okay with this StreamYard. This is being recorded, but it is also live. And so again, we're excited to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because we do have a few slides that I want to go through really quick and just talk to you about the nature of these awards and what we're doing with these awards and why they exist in the first place. All right, as I get into the sharing the screen mode right here, we will be able to get started and get underway. Okay, and hopefully everyone sees a slide presentation right now. Is that correct?
Yes, Beth.
Okay, great. Thank you. So welcome everyone. Again, I'm Beth White. I'm the CEO and founder of MeBeBot. We put together these awards because we started noticing some issues and some things that were popping up in the way that companies were thinking about AI within their organizations, how they were considering the workforce transformation. And so what we really started to notice is a term that you may all have heard about called shadow AI. And it was many people got excited about tools like ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, Google Gemini, etc. And they were using it, but they were using it on their own. And a lot of times they were more forward in their excitement to get started with AI than their employer and the company they work for frankly had the kind of bandwidth to get around. And so a lot of times there wasn't much structure with inside organizations. Are we going to embrace this type of solution and technology within our company? If so, are there any policies and guidelines that we could give, our employees to help them understand how to use this great new exciting way to evolve their businesses forward and create efficiencies, but with the nature of being more responsible. And so today, what we want to celebrate are people who are instead working as teams, unifying themselves in a way that they are working not in silos, but they're establishing AI governance. They're working to educate and inform and enable their employees to be knowing how these tools work, seeing what the possibilities are, and then structuring it in a way where they can actually launch implementations of AI that are successful. And successful a lot of times means you may be iterating, you may be trying some things, you get some solutions launched, you learn, you iterate, you put in human-centered design thinking around the implementations so that when we get to that next level, we're learning, because this is a journey we're all on in the world of AI. And what we want to celebrate is the human and the technology combine to create super teams and ways that people can, again, feel more capable in what they're doing, understand the types of work that should be done in order to leverage AI and things that still remain very human. And again, celebrate those companies that submitted nominations, who are doing great work and giving and setting an example to others. So let's go ahead and get underway here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start by meeting the judges. But before I do, I just want to, take a little moment to adjust my screens here because I wasn't able to see. Yep, we've got George involved here now too. Had a little bit of a technical issue at the start. So, all right, well, let's go ahead again. You all can see my Meet the Judges screen, right? Yep. All right, well, let's go ahead and introduce our fabulous judges who have spent time looking through the nominations and volunteered their expertise in this new Humanity and AI Awards competition. All right, so first of all, let's introduce George. So George, would you like to say hello to the group and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Beth. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here. It's been a real pleasure to be involved in recognizing humans that are leveraging AI in the workplace. And I'm George LaRocque, founder of WorkTech. Before I was an analyst and advisor, I spent 30 years as an HR leader, tech executive, and B2B founder. So I built and ran teams, I bought technology, and then I built technology that other people bought. That operator background is why I do the work the way I do it. I'm not analyzing this market from the outside. I've sat in the seats that I write about. So today, WorkTech is a market intelligence and strategic advisory firm covering the HR and WorkTech space. We work with founders building the next generation of tools, with vendors trying to grow and position themselves in a crowded market, with buyers and investors trying to figure out where the real value is versus all of the noise. I also run the HR technology conferences, Investor Experience and Pitch Fest, which is happening in October in Vegas this year. And I write a column for HR Executive. If you want a real sense of how we think about this market, I point you to our Market Windows series of reports that's live and running between now and the end of October. It's a body of research where we track when a market opportunity is opening for a new category of solution. Right now, that's all about AI. And just as importantly, when those windows are starting to close as incumbents catch up on the market or the market consolidates. It's not trend spotting. It's a framework that's been built and tested over years of watching categories rise, mature, and then get disrupted. And you can find it through the WorkTech Signal, our publication on Substack as well. So the best way to get to the series is at oneworktech.com. Just go /Windows if you want to go straight to the series. And again, I'm genuinely glad to be a part of recognizing AI today and the work that humans are doing that changes how people experience their jobs from day to day. And that's the kind of impact that this industry should be built around. So thanks for having me.
Well, we're really glad to have you here, George. I know you have a lot of expertise in these types of competitions as well as in our industry and space. And your website does have a wealth of information. So hopefully folks can visit his website. And now we're going to turn to Felicia and introduce Felicia to everyone. So hello, Felicia.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Felicia Newhouse. I lead the AI-Powered Women Conference. We host that every year at MIT. Our next one is next month, September 12th to 13th. And we really center human-centered AI. And we bring a lot of leaders across philosophy and psychology and neuroscience and anthropology, looking at our past to really inform our future around how do we bring all these various perspectives together to really bridge into the next leadership paradigm. So we really look at humanity and leadership right now in this kind of liminal space where we're between this old world and we're bridging into a new world that is uncertain. We're going through unprecedented civilizational change. It's not just AI. It's how everything is interconnected right now with all of our systems. And so that requires tremendous reflection around, how we evolve as leaders, as humans. So that's why we bridge all these various perspectives together. And so my background is having been a vice president of product for about 20 years across startups and tech companies, and really thinking about disruption and technology disruption. But I also did a PhD research focusing on leaders and transformational learning, and focus specifically on women and gender issues. So that's a little bit about me, and feel free to learn more about our conference next month. If you want to come, we have virtual tickets. We also have in-person tickets. We've got all kinds of different accessible pricing as well, and scholarships. So feel free to reach out to our team.
Amazing, Felicia. I had the pleasure of being at the conference last year, and it was eye-opening, the different types of topics, the great people I've had a chance to meet. And we were also one of the companies, MeBeBot, that had an opportunity to have a table, in the lobby and meet a lot of different folks and talk to them about women in AI. So it was exciting and very, very fun experience, but also lots of learnings. So thanks, Felicia.
Absolutely.
And Zoe, let's all meet Zoe today.
Hi, everyone. Oh, thank you so much. I am so privileged to sit amongst amazing people. So George, Felicia, of course, you've got a wealth of information and knowledge and background in this field. So I feel super privileged, and thanks to Beth and the team for having me here. So I feel really privileged to be the inaugural Humanity and AI Awards, and let this be a moment of recognition that these types of events are really going to become inspirational, pioneering, because that's what we need. So a little bit about me before I come into what I do in my current role. I've been in HR and people first spaces for 28 years. My former roles are a chief people officer at Condé Nast. I've been at Adidas, Diesel, delivering the best and hugest technical transformations those businesses have ever had in their lifetime. So from print to digital, everything digital for the consumer and internal. So for me, my passion has been around people, processes, and how these two worlds meet each other. Now, processes now marginally are coming through, not just in pen and paper, but obviously in technology and AI. So I've been working in AI around 8 years. And actually one of the reasons why I started my PhD and doctorate is to research the leadership, generational, future generations and AI, and how the future of work needs to be. So I'm so curious about Felicia's work and what they're doing there, because I think that I feel like, being in the people space, I have a responsibility to help the profession of HR to upscale, to recognize that AI is not just about work, it's a life interruption, an accelerator and transformer. How, what, when, why we do the things we do and how we do them is fundamentally changed and changing. And so I feel really responsible to help not only myself be a part of that change, but to help that ripple around me. And so that's why I think it's incredibly important to be on this journey right now with you beside me. So now I've pivoted into running an AI consultancy business. It's called Empowered AI. And we want to bridge the gap between human potential and technology. So we recognize that businesses are not struggle to access AI, they're struggling to turn it into meaningful ways of being, working, and to measure how they're using it. So there's lots of tools, there's lots of pilots, there's pockets of experimentation. We've run a research project 2 years in a row that tells us adoption is much higher, but actually self-experimentation is a way that people are learning. So we come up against in our business with, I don't know what I don't know. So what we're seeing is no clear strategy, limited workforce readiness, no joined up infrastructure, which is all a part of helping people use AI confidently and responsibly. And that's the gap that we solve. So specifically, we help organizations identify where AI can create the real business value and protect the human in all that is. The human is the judgment, the wisdom, the critical thinking, and how that needs to be placed more front and center. So our work sits at that intersection of business strategy, people transformation, and AI implementation. And so for me, just a quick note on this award, why it mattered to me so much when we come to the awards is because it's recognizing people who are simply not just deploying, but bringing their organizations with them. So thanks again. That's me, Zoe Waters, Empowered AI, and I'm super happy to be here.
And thank you, Zoe, for being here. And she does have an amazing community and a lot of resources as well. You can follow her on LinkedIn, where she's often posting different types of educations and, again, sharing her wealth of knowledge at the moment we need this information, which is now. We have to start this transformation. And what we're going to do today is celebrate companies and people who are bringing their organization along on this journey. And so without further ado, let's go on in and talk about the state of the AI at work. And then we're going to talk about the judging process. And then we're going to get down to the winners. So let's talk about what's else also happening at organizations. And even Zoe, George has great data on this. Felicia's bringing this out in the conference. There are things that are working. Let's celebrate some of the successes. Many employees are starting to come around. I mean, this has been really fast. If you think about it, ChatGPT, when large language models became free and publicly available, it was about 3.5 years ago. So this is a very short period of time when this new types of tools came onto the market. And now we're getting into a point where people are starting to get more excited about it and they're using it at work. But are they using it safely? Are they understanding what they're doing? Are they understanding the impact that they could do and how they could reformat work? Well, that's still a little bit debatable. And yet at this time, I think there's more and more growing of a positive workplace sentiment. It's okay to be a little skeptical. I mean, that's part of this journey as well. It's also normal to feel some fear in what's happening because everything's shifting around us. Yet we are seeing some actual tangible results where people are saving time on certain tasks that ideally will free them up to do work that can be more impactful on the organization, strategic, and really drive the whole entire business forward faster. And where we're behind, though, let's talk about this, is that there's a little bit of a disconnect between the C-suite, even board directors, and even shareholders' confusion on, we want companies to leverage more AI to create ways that they can be more resourceful. However, a lot of times when an executive says, okay, we want every department to go do AI, people don't really get what that means. And so there needs to be a lot more discussion on what, is expected and how people are going to get there. And a lot of that comes from having some fundamental governance at the basis, as well as building upon it with trainings, education, and having leadership actually make this more front and center as to why this is happening and how they're going to guide employees along on this journey. So that's, I know, some of the focus of the work that Zoe's doing as well. And when we look at, the employees that are using tools at work and tools at home, there's still a big disconnect. And we have to be careful there because a lot of times if you're using your own personal tools, your own subscription to Claude, et cetera, you have to be very mindful about whether, what the rules are on sharing company information, et cetera. It's fine to, use your Claude to create recipes for your personal life or schedule, family vacation, et cetera. However, there's different types of work that needs to be done in company tools to really see things moving forward. That's where a little bit of the gap is also today. And then a lot of the times when executives jumped into the whole strategy around AI, it was more, I would just like to say, to appease the shareholders, to appease the board of directors. But yet even they were probably behind because a lot of us were surprised by how quickly this type of technology was brought forward. And so the way that we're going to truly build strategy and not just AI, it's really about building a new business strategy that involves how AI can be part of it. That part is a gap that hopefully we will be able to start to close over the coming years. And so that's where we are as far as the state of the market. There's a lot of industry information out there, but those are just a few highlights. And so now let's go ahead and get started into why we chose the different awards we chose and what these awards mean and how we did the judging process. So the awards categories are 3. First, we started with AI literacy and enablement. There needs to be a way that companies can actually bring teams of people together and actually help give them the same equal foundation and footing as to how to use the different AI tools that have been provided by the company to the employees to use to perhaps just experiment, to learn some of the skills, and then of course get to the point where you start to recognize different types of projects and ways that you can transform the work you're doing today. On the MeBeBot website, we have a great resource called the Clarity Framework that really helps to identify the different types of work that inside your organization may lend itself well to partnering with AI on the different process improvements and changes, and help give you some insights into what to prioritize and tackle in different orders. And so there's teams that are out there doing great work and helping to educate and enable their employees. The other area that is important is, okay, now you have these types of tools and employees are using these tools. Now, how are we really applying a human-centric mindset to an AI implementation? Are we thinking about the employees and the work that they do and how they're going to use this technology? What may be the barriers for adoption? How do we remove any kind of friction? How do we communicate the change and lead people along on these AI implementations? It's a very important part. It often requires a lot of iteration and design thinking, but there are great teams that are working together cross-functionally outside of their own business function. They're pulling together IT and operations and HR and other groups, and they're unifying to do these implementations together. Frankly, we probably should have started with the third category as the first category, which is AI trust and governance. Really giving employees a foundation to understand what they can and can't do, and putting an emphasis on, this is the way that we want to work with AI technology, and giving them an understanding of the do's and don'ts is frankly really fundamental before most of this work really gets started. But a lot of times it is it's an oversight today, and we're asking companies to put that front and forward. Today, this week, we actually moved into a new phase with the EU AI Act that's implementing more and more oversight and governance and auditability on different types of actions that are happening. Across the globe, the regulations are going to be shifting and changing, and we need to pay attention to that as well. So we do have a group called Ethical AI for HR. It's in LinkedIn, and perhaps we can drop the link in too if you want to be part of a community where we talk about governance and responsible AI usage in the role of HR. So that's a great resource for you too. So these are the 3 categories, and there'll be a winner in each category. And just to really quickly go through the judging portion. So the nomination form, for those of you out here who in the audience who did fill out the nomination form, it was really designed to be done in under 10 minutes. However, there was some really specific questions, that every nominee had to fill out, and then they chose what category that they wanted to submit their nomination for. And so these are how we collected the nomination forms. And then when we scored the nomination forms, as you see with our 3 judges, we have Felicia, Zoe, and George on the call. They are an independent team who utilized a rubric scoring card to provide the oversight to the judging process. However, they also, of course, applied their human-centric mindset to the judging process. And if there was any discrepancy, we looked at it together and went through a reconciliation process to come up with 1 winner in each category and 2 finalists. And so we'll go through that here today in just a moment. And again, the recognition was meant to have teams celebrated. We know there's a lot of individuals doing great work, but it's really about having the teams come together to support the whole. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and announce some of the winners. So the first category we have is the AI literacy and enablement. So this is you, Zoe. So we are going to go ahead and announce a winner, and you can come in and just, talk a few words, and then we'll invite the winner to come in and talk. All right. All right. Go ahead, Zoe.
Woo! So the winner is, congratulations to Richard Merrett and everyone involved in Bellrock's AI Empowerment Program. Congratulations. Woo. You did great. I love the submissions. Thank you.
Yeah. So do we have Richard that we can bring on stage?
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much.
Wow, it's so good.
Great to have you here, Rich.
Thank you. This is amazing, right? I've been doing AI literally across a couple of different businesses now. Like I've always said, it's like 80% of people problem, 20% of tech problem. Like we know the tech can do the stuff. It's getting to bring the people along the journey is really, really important. And yeah, alongside the governance, which is really, really important, and the delivery, which again is really important. But the bringing the people along that journey is super, super great. So like one of the way that I like to do this, right, is I split it into 4 main categories. So we've got company-wide training. Everybody gets to join a webinar if they want to join the webinar. It's really true what you're saying, Zoe, earlier about personal life changing. One of the things that we do on that journey is on that week long is having a session on how to use AI at home. So we can think about it not just in the workplace, but how can you take this on your life journey? And those repeat every 9 months. And then we do like leadership workshops, and those leadership workshops, they show that anyone with leadership responsibility, how to use AI effectively, how can you empower your teams, how can you measure ROI, because that's what boards and people want to know, but how can you identify all the use cases that need to be identified and encourage your teams to use it safely and ethically and within the guardrails that we've set as a business. And then so that kind of gives us our top-down approach. And then we have our hackathons, or art of the possible-a-thons, I like to call them. It just doesn't have the same ring to it. And that's where you take teams out for 1 or 2 days and you really focus on how you can look at different ways of using AI and how can you use AI in your job and your role, and how can we put you together with an expert in the room on the day and create and understand the problems and then create a solution on the day with AI, so then you can use it on the next day that you're in work. And that kind of gives our inside out approach. And then my favorite bit of the entire process is our AI champions, 1 or 2 people per team, bespoke training, explaining how to use AI safely, how to use it effectively, prompting 101. But really the key bit with it is giving them access to tooling that the rest of the business doesn't have access to, and giving them the responsibility and the kind of the onus to look for those use cases, to measure that ROI, but to help other people within your teams. And the key bit with these guys is that bit at the beginning, those kind of workshops that are the kind of the workshops and the webinars I talked about. The last day of that week takeover is always those guys, those champions showcasing what they've done, so everyone in the business can see the kind of impact that they're having. Just really, really quickly to give an example, there's a couple of individuals now that I've worked with that have started off in various different roles. One particular guy, he was an advice line team leader. He was an AI champion. He went on that journey. He now has AI lead in his job title because he's gone on that journey. He's completely changed his career trajectory. So I really do see that empowering people properly, empowering people effectively really does change the way that we view AI, and the way that not just the business can grow, but people's lives can grow and people's lives can change. And now, this guy, Alistair, there's now 250 Alistairs that are out there doing different things, because no one stays at the business forever. So it helps proliferate across the workforce as well, which is a really exciting piece. So thank you, judges, for this honor.
Amazing.
Yes. Bravo. And thank you, Rich, for sharing your story and journey. Hopefully others can take some of these ideas and implement them inside their organizations as well. So, all right. Well, so now the next category that we're going to announce is AI implementation. And George is going to announce the winner here. And here we go. The winner is...
Our winner for AI implementation is MoxiWorks. And Annie Geragosian, I hope I pronounced that right, was nominated, leading this project. And as someone who's been involved in a lot of projects, I have to say this implementation work was not just about the act of implementing, but before, during, and post implementation strategy. And congrats.
Yes, absolutely. I guess the drum roll and the clapping
Yes,
is not
where's my
working.
drum roll?
Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank you, Amy. So, all right. Annie, are you here? Yes, I see you. Is it Annie or? Whoop, can you? I think your microphone may not be working. Oh, there you go. Maybe. A little technical difficulty. Are you there? Do we have another representative from MoxiWorks?
We have Ani. I see Ani there.
Okay. Hi, Ani.
Hello.
Welcome to the stage. All right. Well, we'd love to hear a little bit more about what MoxiWorks is doing to hopefully give some other people ideas here.
Yes, so you did pronounce it correctly. Thank you so much. Thank you, judges. Very impressive. Hello, everyone. I saw the chat. People are tuning in from like India, Nigeria, Kenya. It's amazing.
Oh, we had you. Now she went away, so we lost the audio there. Right? Can anybody else hear her?
I'm not sure she's talking, so
Okay, is there another representative that can join in and talk?
No, Beth, I would like to continue. I'm here, but it's recording, so I can just go ahead.
Okay,
Yes.
Go ahead.
So one of the, of course, again, thank you so much, everyone. One of the things I would like to also share that through the meaningful processes and workflows for AI, we were able to strengthen our performance evaluations, give amazing feedback, create a succession plan across 5 countries, 9 different time zones, to be able to have deliverables for our employees.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I know there's a little bit of a delay there because I think sometimes with StreamYard, if it's recording and saving to the local computer, it can take up a bunch of resources. I have a feeling that's what maybe happening.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I can just continue to add, and it's not just implementing, it's being consistent. It's providing the tools to your team, working together, elevating the experience both on the employee side, external and internal. We touch about 300,000 different brokers and agents across 5 countries, 9 different time zones. So implementing this and making it successful, it's a team effort, but it's being consistent and continuous. So thank you, everyone. And of course, thank you to you, Beth, for putting all this together.
Oh, well, wonderful. Well, we're just excited you could be here and congratulations. So well done. All right. And our third and final award, and then we will announce the finalists, so don't leave after the third award. We want to celebrate the finalists as well. But our third and final award is around AI governance and examples of ways that we're thinking through it in a very mindful, responsible, ethical AI use cases. And so this is the award that Felicia will announce, and here we go. All right, Felicia.
The winner is ClaraTalks.
Awesome. All right. So Josefine, are you here and able to join the stage?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone. My name is Josefine Nygren, and I am the CEO and owner of ClaraTalks. I'm so honored and happy to be here today. Thank you, all the judges, for voting for us in this category. This is our first win. This is personally my first win. So it's very big to be here. We're very proud and honored from me and the ClaraTalks team. ClaraTalks is a free app that connects women for 10-minute anonymous phone calls. And our goal is to make women feel less alone at a global scale. Together with my team, we built my company in under 4 months. And a big part of our company is our safety AI Sika. We believe that AI is an amazing tool, but it's not a replacement for human connections. When the first car was made, the focus was to get it from point A to point B the fastest. When we were making the car, it was built for speed, to be able to build more, and to save us more time. Volvo, years later, came up with the idea of the seatbelt. Volvo saw how many lives this product would save, so they decided to give this product up for free for any car company in the world to use. We at ClaraTalks are extremely big with responsible AI and that we need to build in futures with AI. We at ClaraTalks do not clearly see the seatbelt for the tech and AI industry. That is one of our core functions in the app that we really want to make a difference in the conversations while we're building this new future. For ClaraTalks to get this award is an incredible milestone as we are not launched yet. So to have this on our backs to show to the world that what we are doing and trying to make a better future for everyone is really making an impact so early on. So from me to you, I'm so happy to be here today. I feel super honored, and I'm so happy to now have you a part of ClaraTalks history.
Well, wonderful. We're glad to have you here, Josefine, and keep up the great work you're doing. I know there's probably a lot of people here. I think your website is claratalks.io or AI?
Yes, that's correct. Yes,
Okay.
IO.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, celebrating all the winners, and let's not forget these amazing finalists. So without further ado, 17 Sport. I don't know if Georgie's here, but Georgie is a finalist and her team at 17 Sports for the work that they're doing in AI trainings and enablement, as well as Arts Envoy and Lisa, celebrating both of you and your teams for the great work that you're doing. And you'll receive a certificate as well and be able to post this on social media. And then when we look at the AI implementation category, we have Asano Cafe. Yay. And Kate, who had a submission there, as well as Cheer Up and Brent and Jojo, who were instrumental in launching and implementing different types of AI technology and solutions within their organization to do some amazing work. So well done in the AI implementation category as far as the two finalists. And then lastly, but again, fundamental is AI trust and governance. And so, yes, let's celebrate the Harbinger Group. And it was a true team effort. They put in place a number of different ways to make sure the employees at Harbinger Group had guidelines on governance, and they worked together with the talent team to do education around it. So that's fabulous. And lastly, we have Ernst & Young and Aranda, who also shared stories about how Ernst & Young have been working toward AI governance across very large organizations. So, you know, we definitely want to celebrate all of these finalists. So let's hear a final round of applause. And again, following this celebration and award ceremony, the winners and the finalists will receive an email from us with information on how you can post your certificate and award on social media channels as well, because we want the word to get out there of all the great work that's being done. So bravo and well done, everyone. And again, thank you for all the participation. Just so those of you who participated, but unfortunately were not selected as a winner or finalist, you were in tough competition. We had over, I think it was 7,000 people that actually looked at the nomination form. Now, not everybody filled out the form. We had about 50 to 60 people participating in the awards process of the nomination form to get to the point of having the completed applications and nomination forms and the winners that you see here in front of us. So again, we know there's a lot of other great companies doing work that we're submitting nomination forms. We honor you and we really thank you for your participation, and hopefully next year you'll come back and submit again. All right, well, let's keep this rolling a little bit, and we're just going to do a quick wrap up here. One of the things that we haven't talked about, just do a quick plug for MeBeBot. I think at the start, I mentioned I'm the CEO and founder of MeBeBot. And what we started out was a very human-centric AI solution back in 2018. So we began in the era of natural language processing and machine learning because frankly, you know, there were chatbots popping up on different types of consumer websites. And how do these chatbots work? How could they help you as a consumer get support from your brand or retailer, bank, insurance company, etc.? And we went into a premise of how could we bring the same technology inside the workplace to really help elevate the role, frankly, of the different support groups into having time for other types of work inside the company, while giving employees a new, what we call digital front door, to have a way to interact with the business and have answers to their support questions, get frequent communications about important topics that were personalized, and give employees the opportunity to provide feedback. That's always been the basis of what MeBeBot has done for companies. And so we sell this solution as a software subscription, and the AI chatbot installs in Microsoft Teams, in Slack. We have a web chat. We also have a way to embed it inside SharePoint pages and even through text messaging. So we don't want to leave any employee out, and we do work with employees that live and work across the globe. And we were frankly pretty instrumental in a time of the pandemic when everyone quickly moved remote and connections were lost. So that's a big part of what we do, but we're super excited that we're giving control back to the business with a new product feature called Smart Search AI. If many of you have used different types of AI tools, when you plug your Claude or your Copilot into knowledge resources, there's really no control or governance over what that AI is reading or seeing or delivering to you that also could be used to deliver information back to employees. And so that's why we built Smart Search AI. Is the whole design is meant to give, again, the control and autonomy to know that there's a lot of knowledge companies have shared over many years for most larger organizations, and yet not all of it is accurate, up to date. There may be duplicates, or perhaps it hasn't even been reviewed in years. And so that's the purpose of our Smart Search AI agents, is it takes your knowledge content and deduces it down to what we believe in the AI agents have been trained to do with your help, because we do have our customers help inform the custom prompts that we use to target just the content that's relevant to support the end employee so that they can trust in the solution that is being delivered to them, and providing answers to help them with all different areas of the business, from bank tellers getting answers from MeBeBot to how to perform different operational tasks for one of their customers, to how employees are using, having questions around employee benefits, or even their IT system and questions around the technology the company provides. So it scopes across the whole business, and typically is implemented with this team approach. And so we're super excited to have this solution out there to give, again, control back to the business to govern and make at times prescriptive answers to certain questions. So if you're interested in a tour, we've got time on our calendars to show you how it works, but just wanted to give a little promo plug for our Smart Search AI. And then lastly, with our final moment, I just want to thank everyone. I mean, first and foremost, our judges. I mean, they have given up their time. Most of them are very busy people, to spend looking at the nomination forms, using our, intelligent rubric to decide on who are the winners of the competition this year. And again, to all the nominees, to spending the 10, 15, 20 minutes at times to fill out the nomination form and tell us about the great work you're doing. Give a big shout out to Amy, our marketing person, who helped and to all of you for attending today and to learning about how other companies are thinking through bringing the humans and the people and the technology together to transform our workplaces. So again, thanks so much for kicking this off with us. It's been a great experience for this first year. And I thank you all. And again, let's just all keep building AI that's designed to help people and our companies transform in this challenging time of, of lots of societal implications happening, but we know we can do it if we work smart and work together. So thanks everyone for being here. All right. Not sure if we had any questions.